I've just bought this bike for £180, but to be honest, I think I got ripped off because the handlebars are from a kid's bike, it don't really turn, and the derailleur crashes into the frame. So, let's build it down and see how bad it actually looks. The reason why I paid £180 for this bike is because it's a Mafia bike, and these bikes retail for brand new to £600 to £700, and the things that I've got planned for this frame are 1 in a million. So make sure to stick around while I build it down. The top head bolt, you can see all the way through it. You can see my finger. What have I bought here?
The bolts were that rusty, my drill wouldn't even work, so I had to switch to the good old Allen key, and some of the bolts, so rounded, I had to hit the Allen key to get it stuck, so I could try get it out, which seemed to work.
Right, now that's released. Let's get the grips off, let's get the brake off, let's go for the seat, and then back tyre. Let's do this. But it was these Allen keys that are rounded. That's the reason why we couldn't get it off. Right, now, just need to get this brake off. What is that? I swear, if anyone knows where these are from, leave in the comments below. But I'm sure these are from a kid's bike. Let's get the wheels off. So we just need to get these 15mm bolts out. Look at how rusty these bolts are. So rusty. We're gonna have to give them a clean up. There we go. And that's the first wheel off. We'll get these two 15mm bolts off each side. What the hell are they? Just take a look at these. There's someone put on there. Can you see that bolt sticking out right there? What's that for? Why would they even put that on? Why have they got them on? I don't get it. Let's get this back wheel off anyway. These second-hand builds, I don't know what people do with them, but that's why I like to buy them. I think they've put that on to pull the tyre back. Look, this is what someone put on back at that bike. Why would they put them on? Would that be to pull the tyre back? Please let me know, because I'm just a learning bike mechanic. I don't have a clue. But what I've got planned for this frame, you'll be surprised. Right, so we need to try to pull this forward, because that chain is so tight. Let's get it off there first. No, it don't want to come out. There we are. Whew, look at how small that back cog is. Can you see that? That's so small. Oh, look at them brakes. Let me take these brakes out and show you how bad these brakes are. Wow. As if someone were riding with them. That's so bad. Wow, I don't know how long this bike's been outside for. Look at the state of these brakes. They're rusty. We'll be getting some new ones of them, and we've got a new one of them already. Let's get this off. So, we need to try and get this chain off with this chain splitter. So let's push it through there. What's supposed to happen is this is supposed to push that pin out that goes through the middle, but because of how rusty it is, I don't know if it's going to work. So now, after fighting what felt like forever to get the chain off, we actually had to snap the piece in half to get it off. So now we can carry on with the build. We just need to get the front forks off and the pedals off, because these are not going back on. I've got something special that's going there. So we're managing to get one side off. Yeah, this side's coming off. But I seem to be still stuck on one. Let's see if we can get this bit out. Right, so now do we reckon? And I want to try get full thing out. Does anyone know if you just pull this side off or if you can just hammer it through? Because I've got a bolt on this side of the pedal there that's really rusty and really don't want to come out. So I need to figure a way how to still get this pedal out and still carry on the build. I understand why it's only Matt Armstrong that buys rusty things. Yeah, well, it does look like if you just give it enough persuasion with hammer, you can actually just take the full bit out with the full pedals out. Let's keep going. Yes! This is what we like to see. Progress. We'll come back to that. But now, we'll get the forks off. And then the seat off. And then, we'll get it ready for paint. So for taking these forks off, well, let's just take this out. For taking these forks off, it should be just as easy as taking this head bolt out here. Let's give that a go. So they've used a 15 through everything. And then this guy goes and puts a 14 on. What is going on? Wow, look at the size of that bolt. I think it's the reason why it's hard to move. I don't think it's got any bearings on. Let's just take this head mount on. So now that should come off. The best way not to lose bolts is by putting the bolt, then you never lose them. Let's see why this was so hard to move. There's no bearings in it, there's no bearings in the frame at all. So now we know why the bike didn't want to turn. So let's get this seat off. It's a really light frame to be fair. But yeah, as you can tell, Mafia Blackjack. Oh, we need to get this brake off as well. Just give me 2 seconds, let's put this brake off. Let's cut these snips off. Well, let's get some snips to cut these zip ties off. Let's try not to scratch the frame. Let's brake off now. To be fair, it's a Shimano. Yeah, I think I might do a bit of restoring on this and put this back on. Good brake is that. Oh, let's not forget, put those bolts back in so we don't lose them. Look at the seat. Right, well, now that's ready to paint. Let me know in the comments below what colour you want to see this frame. And in part 2, we're going to be restoring the fork. And to start restoring these forks, I need to take them 2 bolts out just there. But it's oil filled, so I don't know if it's going to come out. And I need to try and get that bolt off. I don't know if you can see. I need to try and get that off right there, but it's rounded. So if any of you know how I can get that off for next time for when I need to fill it up, please leave in the comments below, because I don't have a clue. Let's start by spraying a bit of a WD-40 on there. Let's see if this will help it get it out. So that's coming off nice and easy. I need to see what's going to happen when I turn it upside down. Oh, this one's a bit tight. Ow! Oh, it's just turning. Don't want to come. That's not a good sign. So if it's just turning, how am I going to get it out? See if we can get it off. Seems to be working when I hit it with hammer. Let's keep going. Oh, just destroying forks. I think it might be that bolt. What's stopping it? See if it'll let me twist it. Ah, look, the bolt's coming out now. Yes. So now we might be able to hit it off. Whoa. Oh my God. Can you see all that? That is disgusting. Look down, tubes. Oh my days. That one's working. What's going on with that one? That one doesn't seem to work. Do any of you have a clue why that one's not moving? This one don't want to move at all, but that one will move freely. So I'm guessing that one just needs a clean, but this one, I don't have a clue. Let's try pull that cap off at top. Tried to give it a go with these forks. For some reason, I can't seem to get this moving, but it's wobbling. I don't know if that's a good thing, a bad thing, but it won't press down. This one will. So I'm gonna pull it out, give it a fully clean up, best I can. Give these a clean up, give it a clean up in there, and see if that'll make a difference. But if not, I might actually have to resort to buying some second-hand fork. I really didn't want to because I wanted to try restore these, but there's no videos on YouTube about these forks anywhere. So there must be an old type, but we'll try give it a clean up, see if that makes a difference. But if not, I'm afraid we're gonna have to resort to buying some new fork. Well, not new, but second-hand forks. Let's try. I know they don't look it, but we've cleaned them up a bit. I think we might have got them sort of working. Oh, I think I might be happy with that. That didn't happen before. Let's go. Let's put these screws back in here. Let's get it sanded down and ready for painting. I'm quite happy with that. They're not perfect, I know, but they work better than they did. They say I've never done forks before. I know that they don't look the best, and I don't think they're probably fixed, but they say I've got them moving to start on my bike journey. If you guys are enjoying these like bike repaired videos, please make sure to subscribe, because there's plenty more bike repairs going to be coming, and I'm going to be doing a twist with a bike. Let's see if we can restore this brake. It's time to start restoring these brakes. So, they don't look too bad, to be fair, and the Shimano, look, they're a bit beat up, but if you have a look here, they don't look too bad. So I'm going to give them a wash down and then see how they look. And if they don't look that bad, I've got this trusty paint marker. So let's give them a wash and see how they look. Take this little bottom bracket off. All you have to do is just take them two bolts out and then that should just come off. To be fair, this bottom bracket after it's had a wash doesn't even look like it's that bad. Obviously I need to get my little marker out. Where that marker before? Can't even tell it's been coloured in now. Let's do this other one, give it a quick clean down. Well, I'll show you before. As good as new. Yeah, the top of the brake. This one looks a little bit worse for wear. Right now, it's time to get these forks ready for paint and the frame ready for paint. Let's start by trying to get this sticker off first. Yeah! Let's wipe it down and get it ready for paint. And before I quickly forget, I better take this seat off and paint this pole too. All you have to do is quickly take them bolts out of there. There we go. Now let's get this ready for paint. Now let's do a quick montage of spray painting. That's one done. So for all you that didn't choose blues, I'm sorry, but blue were the most voted colour. Now that's painted, it's time to paint this black. And then we need to put some lacquer over it all, and then we're all done. Time to finish up. This is a clear coat of lacquer, so basically, if anything rains or anything like that, it just don't damage the paint. I got told to put this on anyway, but we'll see how it does. Just, whew, That got a bit crazy then. So, as you can see, it's just started raining. So, I don't know if this lacquer is actually going to go on any good. But we need to quickly get it on because everything's getting blown everywhere. Now, we're all done. So now, the frame's painted and the forks are painted. It's time to get ready. So now it's time to throw all of this onto here. So we have the wheel to put on, we have the handlebars, BMX handlebars, controller, mud flap, got the wheel. As you can see, I've already got the pegs mounted and the battery mount mounted, and then we've just got all these little prickly parts to put on. Starting with forks, let's go. So what we need to start with by getting these front forks on is we need to put this bottom bearing on. So we've got that on. Put this bike on. Well, this bike frame. That's nice and tight. Then we need a rubber bearing, a little plastic piece, and that all should sit nice. Put this in, well, on. Make sure it's pulled all the way through.
Now this is where I had to figure out how many spaces I needed to put the handlebar mount on, and after figuring out I needed 3 spaces, I could fit the handlebar mount.
This has definitely got to do it. 100%. Let's make sure it's nice and straight before I tighten it all up. Oh, has it worked? To be honest with you, I don't really know. Looks like it's worked. So let's get handlebars on. Flick that round, get his BMX handlebars on. Now let's get his trusty Allen keys. The reason why I had to go get a new mount is because the handlebars, these new ones, won't fit in the old mount. So that's the reason why the bike build has been taking so long to come out. Having to try source all these parts has not been easy for this bike. I believe now that is done. Let's go. Now let's get this seat on. To get the seat back on bike, we just need to put it back on pole and then put it back in there. So slide that in. If you want to see, look, can you see there's just an hole there? So the small part of the pipe just slides in, and then you've just got these 2 nuts to tighten. So now let's slide this right down there. Make sure it's at a decent height, don't look too bad that. Let's get that tightened up. That seat's not going nowhere now. Let's get the front wheel on. So to put the front wheel back on, all we need to do is slide it straight down and tighten these 2 bolts. Easy as that. Now let's move on to back one. So before we put the back wheel on, we have to make some minor adjustments first. You have a look on there. There's just a plastic cap. So we have to take these Allen keys out, take all this off, feed this off, and then put his disc brake on. So let's get doing that. So I got told, if you're ever making an electric bike, make sure you always take this plastic cap off, because you could put it all on and have to take it all back off just to take that off. So make sure you take that off. Now let's fit this nice shiny disc brake. See, now this is where you have to be careful, because these are what come on the bike, well, on the wheel, and these are what come with the disc brake. You see the size difference? So sometimes if you put the long one in, you can put it too far in and knock the motor. So I think we're just gonna go with these ones, and if it don't hold, we'll put them in. Let's see. Seems to be nice and tight. So now let's get these washers back on. So now we've got all the washers back on. Let's put the inner tube and then the tyre on. Starting with tyre, because if you put the inner tube on first, the tyre's harder to get on. Then put inner tube in, and see what I do is, I put the dust cap on so you don't lose the end. Oh yeah, look at a shiny new dust cap. Yeah. Now let's get it on back at bike. Now to put this back wheel on, it should be just as easy as sliding it in there and tightening these bolts. But with these electric builds, it's never that easy. Trust me.
What I am doing here is making sure there's spaces on each side of the wheel to stop the wheel hitting the frame, and after a long time I found out it needs 3 spaces on one side and 2 spaces on the other side, and then I fitted the torque arms on each side of the wheel.
Now let's pump the tyre up.
Now I'm fitting the display, and now the brake, then the grip, and on the other side I fitted just the throttle.
Right, now before we put the brakes back on, these Shimano brakes, we need to put some pads in. So the easiest way to put pads in, get a spanner. You see these here? These pistons. Push them open as wide as they can go, or as wide as you can get them. Just like that, as wide as you can make them. You should be able to just push your pads right up and in, just as easy as that. Then get your pin all the way through, make sure it's all in line, and then we need to bend these. So let's bend them, and then the piston won't go on, and the brake won't go nowhere. Now the brake pads are in and that's been bent over. Time to put the bracket on the brakes and then fit it to the bike. Make sure this bracket's nice and tight. Don't want my brakes flying off. Right, now that's nice and tight. We need to try fit it, but we need to make sure that the brake pad doesn't rub, or this disc brake doesn't rub on these brake pads while it's running.
When I was trying to fit the brake, the pads were rubbing on the disc, so I had to change the disc and put loads of washers on the bracket, and then there was no more rubbing. I fitted the controller using zip ties, and then started by plugging the display in, and then the throttle, and now the wheel, and made sure it was all working.
Let's go! Come on! Now we've got the bike fully up and running, finally. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and peace out.